the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. You got it?
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Viva Cuba Libre. Welcome into episode number 67 of the Picked Off Podcast, the hardest hitting baseball coverage you will get all week. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, we'll see.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
Hey, we get
going.
We're getting into the dog days of summer. We are finishing out the month of July. We are getting into the trade deadline and, of course, the month of August. It's hot out there, and we see it in some of the slumping hitters, and this is where we separate the men from the boys, Aric, the month of August for the season of Major League Baseball. I am your host, Bitter Mike Babbo. You with me, as usual, is my partner, Mr. Aric Schuler. Aric, how you doing?
I'm good. It is Friday. We got a lot to talk about. We got some teams that are frustrating both of us, but yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Telling you, we are marching towards the playoffs here, Mike.
Yeah. Some leagues are rounding out, or some divisions are rounding out, some surprises, of course. And we will see, because now we're going to start seeing some divisional matchups that are really important as we head into October. All right, let's get to it. We will take a look at some news and notes from around the leagues. It was kind of a slow news day for the week in Major League Baseball. We'll also take a look at a current division and wild card standings and some key matchups this weekend. Not much going around the league. The trade deadline has been very, very quiet so far. The Twins, surprisingly, now that they're 500, are buyers. At least they bought somebody. They traded for A.J. Minter, a reliever for the New York Mets. They sent 2 prospects to New York in return, and so I think they're just trying to shore up that bullpen. They had a very solid win last night thanks to the overmanaging of one Kansas City manager, Matt Quatrero, who I will get back to him, but he is wearing my ass out, that's for sure. Snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, and the Twins pulled one out of the hat. They win 4-3 to get to 500. So they are looking to buy, I guess. The Red Sox made a kind of a major trade, but it kind of blew up at them. We'll talk about that later. But I wanted to also talk about the reckless nature of youth. Over the weekend, Giants outfielder Harrison Bader, who was supposedly rehabbing from plantar fasciitis. He has played a whopping, I think, 10 games or something. He went on the IL May 12th for a month. He was nursing a hamstring injury that he suffered during the last week of spring training. He went on the IL finally, then went back on the IL in late May for some plantar fasciitis on his left foot. He was traveled to Indianapolis on Monday to visit his foot specialist, but not before re-injuring that left foot by running around on a scooter, quote, late Saturday, early Sunday. And he crashed it. And now that visit will include an MRI to determine the severity of the aggravation. This clown signs a 2-year, $20.5 million contract with the Giants, and he's provided absolutely nothing. Zero, a negative WAR, and he's played 30 games in 111 plate appearances, and he's hit a whopping 170 with 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. But it begs the question, Aric, how stupid and how reckless are you? And this is not the first time that has happened to him. He was actually suspended from the team when he was playing for the University of Florida Gators in his sophomore year for another scooter accident. It's like
when it rains, it pours, Mike.
You don't learn, do you?
Yep. And I would tell you this is just par for the course for your Giants right now.
Right.
I mean,
and what else could go wrong?
The place is a mess, and I'll tell you, Buster Posey. I mean, outside of this Harrison Bader incident, I mean, obviously this guy's an idiot. But I mean, he's just. I mean, you nailed it on the head with the name of the segment, the reckless nature of youth. I mean, I deal with it all the time. I got a bunch of kids at home. They ride around in these these motorized scooters.
Yeah, but they don't
and
have
bikes.
a $20 million contract.
100% agree. It doesn't change the fact, this guy's young and thinks
Your kids are teenagers. They're going to learn their lessons.
This guy thinks he's invincible, though. These
Yeah.
guys think they're invincible. So at the end of the day, I mean, this is par for the course for the Giants. Sucks. I agree. This guy's brought absolutely nothing to the table. He's halfway through his deal now. Probably won't bring anything to the table this year. Giants are well out of it. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, now Casey Schmidt tore his meniscus in his knee, and he was the otherworldly utility player. He hit 21 home runs. I think he had 85 RBIs. His season is done. Trevor McDonald, his season is done. After
whatever pieces you have left, and you have a couple contracts that are absolute anchors around the Giants' necks.
Yeah.
But I think whatever pieces you have available to move, you should blow this thing up as best you can.
Yeah, well, Robbie Ray looked good in his last outing on Thursday, which will probably be his last outing as a Giant. Through 6 shutout innings, the Giants beat the Padres, who were streaking. They snapped the Padres' 5-game winning streak, and so good for him. The problem with him is by the end of the trade deadline, Robbie Ray will be owed $7.4 million on his contract this year, and that's a lot to pay for a guy for 2 months if you're going to rent him.
For sure.
Anyway,
if you're trying to win a World Series,
it's not absolutely. A lot. He could be a great number 3 starter on a solid playoff team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the standings, Aric, starting with the AL East in your favorite division. Of course, the hottest team is the Boston Red Sox. They have won 20 of their last 22 ball games and their last 7 series, but they were dealt a blow when newly acquired second baseman Curtis Mead suffered a broken wrist on a hit-by pitch in his second at-bat as a Red Sox over the weekend. But that hasn't seemed to slow them down. Marcelo Mera Monasterio has done very well. Anthony Sealer at second base has done very well. Their rotation has gobbled up and spit out quality start after quality start, and they're moving the ball around and they're moving guys around the bases, and they're playing solid small ball, and so that is really vaulted them into the playoff picture. The Yankees, they travel through the Windy City this week to face both the White Sox and the Cubs. They just finished a 4-game series against the White Sox. They should have swept them, as you know. I mean, for the first time in the Yankees' long history, I did not know this, Aric, they lost games, back-to-back games where they had a lead in the extra innings. Ouch.
Yeah, I didn't.
And they need to improve this bullpen because Fernando Cruz can't find a plate.
I didn't catch that statistic, but I will say this.
That's why I'm here.
This game is too challenging to lose games that you should win. And look, I'm going to tell you right now. I watched all 4 of these games. I watched them from beginning to end, and I will tell you right now. It is unacceptable the way the Yankees lost these games. As a Yankees fan, I understand it's coming from a biased opinion, but I'm going to tell you right now, if the Yankees continue to lose ball games in this fashion, Boone will lose his job. He will lose his job. I don't care.
You've been saying that for a couple of years.
No. I've never thought Boone was the problem. You know that.
Oh,
right?
that's true.
I've always thought Cashman was the problem. And I'm going to tell you, when you're losing games like this has nothing to do with Cashman. You take a 4-1 lead into the 7th inning, okay, on Wednesday night, and you end up getting beat. You give up back-to-back home runs, right? A 2-run shot followed by a solo to tie the game.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely atrocious. And then you walk a guy. This is Little League stuff. You walk a guy home to end the game? Come on. What are we doing? But, you guys know I've been worn out by the fundamentals in this game for a long time. Mm-hmm. Truth be told, the kid that gave up the 2 home runs back-to-back, his second home run that he gave up was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is when you go into the 7th inning with a 4-1 lead, you got to win the ball game.
Yeah, exactly. The division-leading Rays, they don't face an AL East team until mid-August when they play the Orioles and the struggling Toronto Blue Jays. However, they did receive a scare last night in their 3-2 victory over the Rangers. Shane McClanahan, their ace starter, left the game with a mid-back strain, so not too serious. Well, we hope it's not too serious. Thankfully, it's not an elbow and or arm issue, but it's something to look out for. To the AL Central we go. Both the White Sox and the Guardians have struggled the last 2 weeks. The White Sox should have been swept at home by the Yankees, but they somehow pulled a rabbit out of their hat, and so They have won 5 of their last 10. The White Sox have a swing through the AL East after finishing up with the Yankees. Then they travel to, or they face the Tampa Bay Rays, and then the Red Sox. The Guardians, they're 6 games under 500 since June 1st. They have been struggling, and so they really need to get going. Those two teams are set to meet in Chicago August 7th. So that'll be something to look.
It's kind of funny the way this season's shaping up. I mean, you have teams like the Guardians that look pretty bad, and they can't, like the White Sox can't pull away because they also struggle.
Yeah,
right, and that seems to be going on in a lot of divisions.
Right,
not just this one. I mean, don't get me started on this next division we're going to talk about. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the AL West. The Rangers are looking to make some distance between them and now the second place and 500 Astros.
Yeah, but
the Mariners are done. I mean, not done, but I mean they're really, really slumping. They're like 5 games under 500 now. The Rangers did take 3 or 4 from those Mariners last weekend. They do travel to Houston this weekend. We will preview that matchup. Then their schedule gets relatively easy. They have 3 versus the struggling Giants, and then at home against Baltimore, and then they travel to the West Coast and face the Angels for 4, and then 3 in Sacramento against the Athletics. Comment?
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean,
you've already said it.
You got a team at the top of this division at 55 and 54. They're half a game in first place. On the second place 500 Houston Astros.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about this. This division is very disappointing, mainly because of the Mariners. I put this on the Mariners. They are not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They are not taking their rightful spot here. They just are not. They can't put it together. I'm going to Denny Green on this, right? The Mariners are who we thought they were, man. They always the same team that we think they are. We always think they're coming out of it. Oh, they're going to have a breakout year. They're going to go to a World Series. It's going to be a different deal. No. It's the same team. It's the same team that's been around forever.
Yeah.
Guys won 105 games under Pinella, and they go into the playoffs and
lose the first series.
Yeah, lay an absolute egg.
Yeah.
They're the same team they've always been. So just frustrated with the Mariners because
I think this legacy goes back deeper because if I remember correctly, they went 20 seasons, their first 20 seasons wwithout even.
No,
500.
yeah. The franchise has been an absolute.
Blah.
Yeah,
blah.
I think that's a good way to put it, right? Definitely not winners, right? Definitely not, lovable losers. I mean, I hate this division with a passion.
You just hate one team with a passion.
Well, I kind of hate the Rangers too, but
you don't hate the Rangers.
But I will say I don't hate them like I hate the Astros. So I'm very frustrated with this division. I'm frustrated with the situation. Mainly, it does have to do with my deep-seated, unappreciation for the Astros.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, divisions like this wear me out, right? None of these teams are any good. One of them's going to make the playoffs. Maybe they get hot and they make a run.
You can thank the third wild card for this because everybody's focusing on the guys at the bottom and chasing the wild card.
Oh yeah. You know what else I can thank the third wild card for? You know what else I can thank the third wild card for? This 500 talk we talk about.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, no one's talking about the Dodgers. No one's talking about the Brewers and how they're having a great season. All right. No one's talking about the Rays who've finally eclipsed and now they're 20 games above 500. They're all talking about the fight for the final wild card spot.
Hey, speaking of how many games you think the Dodgers are going to win?
I mean, they're over. I mean, I think over 100. Really?
Yeah, they're going to win over 100 for sure.
And they have so many injuries to their pitching staff, but they're going to get them back soon. We will talk about that.
That's another division that wears me out, right? I mean, look, the Dodgers are obviously the best team in that division for sure. Maybe the best team in baseball. But what I'm going to say is like where'd the Padres go? They were supposed to. At least compete.
Well, they made a little bit of a run. They just had a 5-game winning streak snapped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're still 14 games out of first place.
Yeah, I know.
Like come on.
Well, it's because the Dodgers are so darn good.
Keep it close.
We will talk about why the Dodgers are so good. Just a second. All right. To the NL East we go. Both the Braves and the Phillies have been treading water for a month. The Phillies had a little bit of controversy when Bryce Harper really called out Dave Dombrowski, the GM at PBO, for some help. During the trade deadline, and they have been struggling. I think they've lost 7 of their last 10, and Don Mattingly clapped back at him, say, you know what, players always like to be GMs, and, players just need to play and, no nonsense, Mr. Manley. Good
Yeah.
for him.
So look, we may disagree here. I don't like his comments. Right. I don't have a problem. Like
you don't like Mattingly's comments?
I have historically been pretty critical of Bryce Harper, right? Because I just didn't like the way he came into the league. He was a hot shot, all that. And I've kind of you have made me appreciate him more.
Oh, God,
right?
yeah.
Because you've kind of given me some backstory on, some of the things he did in his past and why and how that happened. And so I've come to appreciate him. I don't have a problem with a star on one of these teams coming out and saying, "Hey, we need to do something at the deadline." I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I didn't think it was offensive. I didn't think it was brash. I really didn't. I thought it was a fine comment for a star in this league. And I just don't appreciate I think Mattingly looks a little bit like why are you coming to the defense? Yeah, you do need to do something. You do need to do something at the trade deadline. Like that's a fact. Like anybody watching this game that has any inclination of knowledge of it knows that you need to make a move.
I think he's coming from the point of, look, we have the players here, but we are not playing good ball. I mean, have you watched them the last several games? They're kicking the ball all over the place.
Yeah,
Bryson Stott and Trey Turner, they're playing very poor defense. And they really have a bullpen problem.
And he could have said that, but that's not what he said.
Well, he's not going to call players out.
No, he doesn't have to call players out individually, but he could have said, "Hey, we're not playing the best baseball ourselves here, right? We need to improve." Right?
Yeah,
he could have said
to look
that.
back at on that to see, the clip may have been taken out of context.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I just know this. I don't have a problem with what Harper said.
Okay.
Right? I do have a problem with how Mattingly handled it. Right? I thought he could have handled it different. I don't understand why everybody feels like, oh well, we state the obvious, right? And that's offensive to the GM. Hey, the obvious is you need to go out and make a move.
Yeah.
Right? Get some help here.
I think Mattingly's point is we have the players. We're just not playing well enough or to our potential. So no one out there is going to come in here and improve us playing poor defense. All right. Who's going to replace Trey Turner and play better defense? Who's going to replace Bryce Stott?
Right. And that is a different discussion than coming out and saying, "Hey, he just wants to be GM." Right, that's a different it's a different mentality.
True.
Right,
but I mean, JT Realmuto needs to start. Maybe they need to improve behind the plate.
Yeah,
right? Because JT Realmuto is killing him behind the plate at the plate as a catcher.
I just think Mattingly could have handled it different. That's all.
Fair
That's
enough.
all.
All right. The Marlins, they were the hottest team at baseball, but their playoff odds were torpedoed when they went on a 12-game losing streak.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it for them. And I think that they still think that they're in it, but
they'd be in first place in the AL West.
Yeah, that's true. Turning to the NL Central, the Brewers are still the class of the National League, but the Cubs are on a scorcher, man. They are 22-9 in July.
It's not looking to slow down.
No,
they got the Yankees. I mean, how excited should they be?
Yeah, they're really excited to see them.
That's what they're saying.
Town.
Let's just get to the 7th. We'll win it.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot of runs. They've scored 6 or more runs in 8 of their last 10 games. They had a very tough road trip, a 7-game road trip at Pittsburgh. They took 2 or 3, and then they went to St. Louis. Not an easy place to play. A legacy rivalry there, and they took 3 or 4 from the Cardinals. They actually were down 3-0 in yesterday's game.
The Cardinals have just fallen off the map.
Yeah, the wheels have fallen off.
Just absolutely playing awful baseball, losing a lot of games.
Yeah.
Just very, I was really kind of pleasantly surprised at what we saw from them in the first half. But they have really looked rough.
They stopped hitting.
Yeah.
We talked about the West, National League West already, but it bears mentioning. The Dodgers are cruising, but their rotation means a question mark. Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow are set to return soon. Blake went for his 3rd rehab start last week, and he looked really good. Tyler Glasnow is now throwing to live BP, but Shohei Ohtani is still not close to getting back on the mound. More on that later. He actually had a bullpen session. He was set to do another one on Saturday, but they said, you know what, you're not bound. They looked at him and said, we don't like the way that you bounce back, quote unquote, and so we're just going to shut it down. He actually was scratched from yesterday's game altogether.
I saw that. I saw that. I would tell you, I mean, the Dodgers are in a catbird seat here. I would take all the time these guys need. I'd slow play them.
That's exactly what Dave Roberts said.
Yeah,
we are going to go for Blake Snell because we are here for the long haul.
Yeah,
we're doing fine with Yoshi and Roki and Emmett Sheehan. In Ergato, so there's no rush to get him.
But I will say, that is true. They still have a 12-game lead on the division. Okay, but what I will say is it can go quick. It can go quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
If the Dodgers were to lose 8 out of 10, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, and you got a Padres team playing a little bit better, right? Before you know it, you got a race going.
Or if you face some good pitching in the playoffs, right, you can get bounced.
Well, not just the playoffs, but I'm talking about like. Maybe we have a division race heat up if they don't,
We'll see.
It's hard to imagine.
They have a league. They have a league high $109 million on their injury list.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's insane.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
But they did get one big piece back. We'll talk about that later. The Padres, they just had a 5-game win streak snap, like I mentioned before, but they still need rotation help. But right now, the big question with the Padres is, will GM and PBO AJ Preller listen? Well, he's going to listen to offers, but will he trade Mason Miller? And whoever gets him, I mean, are they going to pay for him? Because AJ Preller said, anybody willing to talk to me about Mason Miller, I'm going to tell him everybody in your organization is on the table.
Well, look, I like Preller, but he can say whatever he wants. I mean, and look, this is I've only seen a few relievers in my time watching baseball that are first ballot Hall of Famers, right?
Sure,
like only a few.
Eckersley,
right? Eckersley,
Mo,
Mariano Rivera, right? Those guys,
Bruce Sutter.
Yeah. There are 4 or 5 out there, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he's getting a little bit too big for his britches here. Look, I'm not saying the guy's not dominant,
dude,
and he looks incredible.
Do you know what his numbers are?
Right, and I wish we had him. No, I know what his numbers are. I do, and he is outstanding. He's outstanding. All I'm saying is he's still a 1 inning to 2 inning guy. That's it.
That's all it takes. If you can shorten a game,
I would.
He has 88 strikeouts in 43 innings. He has a 49% strikeout rate. Let that number sink in.
Don't make me take anything away from this kid, right? Because he is dominant. He's looked great. He looks incredible. But my deal is to say like this, how stupid it sounds to me, Mike. Okay, and I'm not saying that this would happen.
He's not facing AAA pitching. I know you're trying to tell me that. Oh, because he's doing it with the A's and the Padres. He's still facing major leaguers, and he's still facing guys like the Red Sox and the Yankees and such.
I understand, but what I'm saying is when Preller makes comments like that, it's like, okay, how about Aaron Judge for this kid in the bullpen? No, that's dumb.
What? No,
he says every player in your organization's on the table.
I don't think he's.
Yeah, I agree. He's not thinking that. So shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. It's stupid. Stupid to say stuff like that.
Well, I think what he was meaning was every prospect that you have out there. I think no.
That's
What he means is George Lombard. What he means is Anthony Volpe. What he means is Jason Dominguez.
Give him Volpe. Holy smokes! If they want to make that deal, give him 2. For that. Given what I saw the last couple games of the Yankees, I would love to see this.
You ready to talk about the Yankees next series?
Yeah,
as they travel to the north side. Wouldn't that be great? Have you been to Wrigley yet?
I have, yeah,
okay,
a couple times.
Wouldn't that be cool to watch them? All right. Anyway, the Yankees do travel to Chicago and face the Cubs. The Yankees they're both are at 61 and 46. 2 second-place teams in their respective divisions looking to make a big move. Friday is Will Warren, 7-5 with a 4.41 ERA against Shota Imanaga, who's 7-8 with a 3.72 ERA. Saturday, Max Fried, 4-3 with a 3.23 ERA against David Peterson, 6-7 with 5.80 ERA. Sunday, Garrett Cole, 4-5 with a 3.57 ERA against Colin Ray, 8-7 with a 4.67 ERA. The Yankees, 2 former longtime National League players, travel to Wrigley Field, and their numbers are pretty decent at Wrigley. Cody Bellinger, in 140 games, that'd be considered a full season. In Wrigley, he's hitting .248 with a 334 on-base percentage and 812 OPS, 23 home runs he's socked, and 85 RBIs. Paul Goldschmidt, first ballot Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned. In 73 games at Wrigley, he's hit .286 with a 384 on-base percentage, 480 slugging, 864 OPS, 13 home runs, and 44 RBIs. The Cubs, man, they're getting it done. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, possibly your NL MVP. He's hitting 284 with a 382 on-base percentage, a 920 OPS. He's hit 24 home runs and 63 RBIs. All figures are team highs for the Cubs. Alex Bregman, all slash line categories this year are below his career averages. He's also on pace to set career low marks in home runs, hits, and RBIs. Versus the Yankees in 52 games, mostly as an Astro, he's only hitting 228 with a 324 on-base percentage. He's hit 6 home runs and 19 RBIs. Currently, the Cubs have a closer by committee role going on. Jacob Webb and Caleb Theobar, both righties, are sharing the duty since Daniel Palencia went on the IL. Sunday starter David Peterson, he came over from the Mets in a trade in late June. His stats as a Cub are marginally better. He's got a 5.06 ERA versus 6.08 with the Mets, 103 whip. With the Cubs versus a 152 with the Mets, but already he's given up 4 home runs in 5 appearances in Chicago versus 6 home runs all year in 16 games as a Met. Aric, how do you see this one?
I do think the Cubs are on a heater here. This is the best starting pitching they're going to see. They have been on quite the run here. They played all under 500 teams. Over the last, I think, 20 games. I like the Yankees here. I like it just because I think the Cubs are running into a little buzzsaw here with the starting pitching. I like all 3 of these guys that are going to go for the Yankees. Yeah. I like the Yankees to win this series for sure, if not sweep it. Just because I think that starting pitching is going to be the best the Cubs have seen. This is the best team the Cubs have seen in 20 games.
Yeah.
So my expectation is that I think the Yankees are going to win this series.
The Yankees have to hit, though.
Yeah, well, okay. they do have to hit.
And they have to stop overrunning bases.
Yeah, they do have to hit, and they got to play better fundamental baseball. Like I said, going back to my earlier comments, that's right on Boone. He needs to get the team right, and he needs to get them playing a little bit better from a fundamental standpoint. But I like the Yankees in this series just mainly because I like the starting pitching matchups, and I think those guys play well at Wrigley. And so my expectation is the Yankees go in and take care of this.
All right, big series for the Boston Red Sox. They will seek to win their 8th series in a row, but it's not going to be easy. They travel to the confines of Chavez Ravine and Dodger Stadium and face the world champion, 2-time world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. The Red Sox are at 56 and 51. The Dodgers are 68 and 40. Friday is Ranger Suarez, 4-3 with a 3.02 ERA. He makes his second start after coming off of the IL. He will face Edgardo Hernandez, 4-1 with a 2.79 ERA. Saturday, Peyton Tolley, 6-6 with a 3.32 ERA against Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 11-6 with a 2.72 ERA. Solid ERA for Yoshi. Sunday, Jake Bennett, the surprise starter, 6-4 with a 2.74 ERA against Emmett Sheehan, 4-7 with a 4.95. The Red Sox, Sonny Gray leads the American League with 13 wins and a 2.78 ERA. He struggled a little bit yesterday, but he got the win. He gutted out 7 innings, 4 earned runs, and he waited for his Red Sox to do some late magic as they have been doing over the last 22 games. Ranger Schwartz in his first start back from his IL, 4 innings pitched, 64 pitches, no earned runs, only 4 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, and no walks. Zidane Rafaela playing Gold Glove center field and hitting 280 with a 321 on-base percentage, a 764 OPS. He socked 11 home runs and 50 RBIs. The Dodgers, they get closer Edwin Diaz back. He pitched back-to-back nights, Wednesday and Thursday, got the save in both games. He comes off the 60-day IL on Wednesday to remove loose bodies from his elbow. The rumors have the Dodgers looking to add to rotation to compensate for all of the injuries, but they do get some pieces back, but they're not going to really rush them. They're looking at Clay Holmes of the Mets, Freddie Peralta also of the Mets, and maybe, just maybe, they will go to Detroit and talk to Scott Harris about Casey Mize or one Tarek Skubal. That would be sick. Shohei had his bullpen session on Saturday skipped after not recovering very well from his previous session. He's been out of the rotation since early this month with knee inflammation. Aric, how do you see this?
So here's my take on Boston right now. Boston's going on the road. They're going to play arguably the best team in baseball, them and the Brewers.
Yeah, we're going to see what they're made of.
Yeah, and so my thing is, if Boston can come out of these 2 series, right? So they got the Dodgers, and then they got the AL Central leading White Sox, right?
Yeah, right.
In back-to-back series, they got the Dodgers on the road. They got to come all the way back to Chicago. They got to play. They got to come all the way back to Boston. They got to play Chicago.
Right.
But if they can get through those 2 series, right, 4 and 6, right, if they can win both those series, And I don't know if they will, because I don't like the pitching matchups in the Dodgers series. I think if Suarez gets off the bus and they win that game 1, I think they could take 2 out of 3.
Right.
Okay, but they got to win.
It's been a nice surprise.
Yeah, but they got to win game 1. Okay, and if they do that and they go on, they welcome Chicago into Boston, they take 2 out of 3 from them. Then they go basically the A's at home. They go Toronto on the road.
It's a
they
lot
go Pittsburgh.
easier.
It goes until you get to Arizona, where you're playing a team that's over 500.
Right.
But then you have San Francisco, Marlins, and then you don't play another quality team until you go to the Yankees in late August. And so I really think that Sox could make a run here, but it's going to start right now. They got 6 tough games, 3 of them on the road, 3 of them back at home. Both opposite sides of the country, right? So it's
tough.
It's a long ways.
Yeah.
And so if they can come out of that unscathed, 4-6, 5-1 type deal, I think they can make a real nice little run going into the end of August.
No, it's an excellent take. Thank you very much. All right, finally, we did preview this team in a matchup last weekend against another division rival, the Seattle Mariners, and they did their job 3 out of 4. The Rangers travel to Houston and now face the second-place Astros. The Rangers are at 55 and 54. The Astros are 55 and 55. Friday is Nate Eovaldi. He's 10-8 with a 4.05 ERA against Hunter Brown, 2-1 with a 3.45 ERA. Saturday, Jacob deGrom, 7.6, 3.67 ERA against Ronel Blanco, 0-1 with an 8.10 ERA. Ugh. Sunday is Kumar Rocker for the Rangers. He's 4-8 with a 4.03 ERA. The Astros have yet to announce their starter for that matchup. The Rangers, huge series to create some distance between them and now the Astros, who are right on their heels, right? Eovaldi versus Houston this year, he's 1-1. He went 7 shutout innings in his first start, May 17th in Houston, but then got tagged for 5 earned runs and in a loss 11 days later at home. The bullpen will have to do without setup man Jacob Junis. This is a big blow for them. He was sent to the IL with an adductor strain. No timetable for his return, but he was a valuable piece on the back end in front of closer Jacob Latz. The Astros at 500 for the first time since April 7th. Since that awful 8-18 April, they are 7 games over 500 to climb to the ranks of the mediocre, but still they have a minus 40 run differential. Only 3 players are in their I guess not rotation, but 3 position players, I should say. Get it out, Mike. Are hitting above the league average, which is 244. Isaac Paredes, 254. Jeremy Pena, 311, and of course Yordan Alvarez, who is the MVP, consensus MVP pick.
If only he played for a quality team.
If he played for a quality team,
but it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
But he's leading the American League in an average of 321. He's also scored 74 runs and 126 hits. Those are leading the AL. He's leading the major leagues with a 432 on-base percentage, 640 slugging percentage, a 1073 OPS, a 198 OPS plus. He's leading the major leagues in 35 home runs. Aric, what do you see?
So what a climb for the Astros! Like, I got to give them some credit here. I mean, look, they're
playing the teams that they're supposed to be playing. They're beating them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to give these guys some credit. Don't get me started on the teams. The teams in the AL West. Give me a break. But look, they're playing the teams they're supposed to play, and look, they are 1 series away right now from taking the lead in this division.
Yeah.
They're 1 series away. They go in, win 2 out of 3. They take the division lead. My thing is, I like the Astros. I don't think that you can allow.
The Rangers are still too inconsistent hitting. Now, Wyatt Langford's having a nice start out of the break.
But I'm just saying there is a baseline to the Astros where they expect a little bit of success. They expect to play better baseball.
Yes.
Right? Like they have an expectation there that they're going to compete for this division. And I think that puts them I think that they're the only team in that division that feel like that. Mm-hmm. And so my thing is I like the Astros to win this division now. Right? I think they're coming out of it. They went through, they went through the doldrums early in the year, right, where they had a lot of injuries. They're coming out of it. They're 500 baseball. They hung in there. The division allowed them to hang in there. Now I think they're going to go in there. I think they take 2 or 3 from the Rangers, and I think they win the division.
Yeah, certainly. I think they have the advantage playing in that joke of a ballpark. Anyway, all right. Anything else, Aric, before we sign off?
No. So I do want to chat with you. I mean, you mentioned Yordan Alvarez. You think he wins the MVP?
I think he's the consensus pick right now from the articles that I've read of the people that vote. I really do. You look, without him, you take him out of the lineup, there's 6 games under 500, 7 games under 500. I mean, he's hit so many game-tying or game-leading home runs.
Yeah, but still, they'd be in second place in division. But my point there is this: they're still not a very good baseball team, right?
No, I mean they played decent defense. I mean,
yeah, their pitching's been awful.
Their pitching is terrible.
That's been a major factor. I don't know. So you're into giving the MVP to DH? That's your thing?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm not saying. Look, we said this a couple episodes. I don't want to give it to him because he's a full-time DH and he plays in a bandbox.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
I would rather see Junior Caminero take it or Yandy Diaz take it, or either one of them, both of the Rays.
Yeah, I would tell you 2 weeks ago, Caminero, I would have.
Right, but his numbers are so insanely good. He's a Triple Crown winner right now.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
And I'm telling you that the voters are considering him tops, and no one's close.
Yeah, I think he's going to win it too.
Right.
I just want to.
I'm not saying I want him to be the MVP because again, he's half a player. All right,
that's hard.
He's not out in the field, and he's a very, very below average left fielder. I'm being very kind.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, welcome to the DH, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the DH exists because,
I
for
know.
guys like this.
I know, but I still don't like it. Anyway,
So
anything else, Eric?
that's it. I just want to get you fired up a little bit for the end of the show.
Well, I appreciate that.
You will.
That'll do it for this episode of the Picked Off Podcast. Next week, Mike is traveling. But when he returns, we will do a 2026 trade season post-mortem. We'll review the winners, the losers, and we'll each give you a couple of trades that we would like to have seen. Eric will do the Rangers and the Yankees. There's your assignment. Mike will do the Astros and the Giants. It should be a little bit of fun. We want to thank you all for listening in. We also want to thank you for your feedback. We want to make this show better because we do it for you. You can catch us every week on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on X at TheBitterMike or on Instagram, BitterMike1963. Time is precious, so we appreciate you spending some of yours with us. Mike and Eric talking the great game of baseball. Have a great weekend, everyone. See ya.
See ya.
Let's go down. Competition in other places, but the horns, they blowing that sound.